Many seniors worry that doctors aren't really listening to them. You sit in the exam room, describe your pain, and still walk out with a prescription or a rushed explanation that doesn't feel complete. If you've ever felt dismissed or unheard, you are not alone. Today, I'm going to uncover 5 uncomfortable truths about what doctors often think of older patients. These truths may be difficult to accept, but knowing them can change how you approach every appointment, how seriously your symptoms are taken, and how much respect you receive. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this video from, and what time of day is it? Please drop your answer in the comments below. I truly enjoy reading your stories. Stay tuned, because once you hear these 5 truths, you'll never see your doctor's office the same way again. One of the most common unspoken beliefs among doctors is that older patients simply won't change their habits. They may see you as someone set in your ways, resistant to new advice, and unlikely to follow through with lifestyle adjustments. This assumption can quietly shape the way they talk to you, the amount of detail they share, and even the seriousness with which they recommend certain treatments. Imagine sitting in your doctor's office while they explain that exercise could ease your arthritis pain. Deep down, the doctor may already assume you'll say, "I'm too old for that." And because of that belief, they don't spend much time encouraging you or showing you practical ways to get started. That assumption, though unspoken, limits the support you receive. But here's the truth. Countless older adults in America are proving that change is possible at any age. Think of the 70-year-old who starts walking every morning and notices their blood pressure improve within weeks, or the grandmother who switches from soda to water and suddenly feels more energetic throughout the day. These small shifts prove that seniors can adapt and thrive when given the right guidance. If your doctor assumes you're unwilling to change, you have the power to prove them wrong. Start by asking questions. What's one small adjustment I can realistically make this week? Showing curiosity and willingness signals to your doctor that you are invested in your health. You might be surprised at how differently they respond once they realize you are open to new ideas. Another strategy is to share stories of positive change. If you've started a healthier routine like cooking at home instead of eating fast food, tell your doctor. When they see evidence of your efforts, they're more likely to take you seriously and provide more specific, personalized advice. It's also important to remember that doctors are human. They get discouraged if they feel patients ignore their recommendations. By showing that you are willing to try, even in small ways, you help your doctor stay motivated to work harder for you. Changing long-standing habits is never easy, but it's possible, and your doctor's hidden belief doesn't have to define you. The next time you're in that exam room, remind yourself, you are not too old to improve your health. Your willingness to embrace change not only benefits your body, but it also reshapes the way your doctor views you. That shift in perspective could open doors to better care, more attention, and a stronger partnership with your healthcare team. So, the first ugly truth is this: many doctors assume seniors won't change their ways. But the hopeful reality is that you can prove them wrong, and in doing so, you may completely transform the way your doctor treats you. Another hidden truth is that many doctors often dismiss symptoms in older adults as just part of aging. When you mention joint pain, fatigue, or shortness of breath, the doctor may quickly conclude it's simply because you're getting older, instead of investigating deeper causes. This mindset can be dangerous, because behind what seems like a normal age-related problem, there might be a serious condition that requires immediate attention. Picture this: an older gentleman tells his doctor he feels tired all the time. The response? Well, that's normal for your age. But what if that fatigue is actually a sign of anemia, thyroid issues, or even heart disease? When age becomes the automatic explanation, the real problem can go untreated for months or even years. This habit doesn't come from neglect alone. Doctors are trained to consider probabilities, and yes, aging does increase aches, slower recovery, and fatigue. But when they stop looking beyond age, they risk overlooking treatable conditions that could improve your quality of life. The real danger is not age itself, but assumptions that close the door to proper investigation. You can protect yourself by asking precise questions. Instead of settling for, "It's just your age," respond with, "Can we rule out other possible causes?" Or, "What tests could confirm whether this is truly age-related?" By doing so, you remind your doctor that your health deserves thorough consideration. Let's take a real-life example. A 72-year-old woman complained of shortness of breath. Her doctor initially brushed it off as normal aging, but she insisted on further testing, and it revealed early-stage heart failure. Because she spoke up, she received treatment that improved her energy and extended her life. This shows the power of persistence and refusing to accept vague answers. It's also helpful to bring written notes to your appointments. List your symptoms, when they started, and how they affect your daily life. When doctors see clear, detailed information, they're less likely to dismiss your concerns and more likely to take action. Another approach is to use comparisons. You might say, "I used to walk around the block without trouble, but now I need to rest halfway. That change worries me." By describing how your condition has shifted, you give the doctor a reason to explore further rather than defaulting to just aging. Remember, your voice matters. If something doesn't feel right, push for answers. Aging may change the body, but it doesn't mean every new symptom should be ignored. Good healthcare is about identifying what can be improved, not simply accepting decline as inevitable. So, the second ugly truth is this: many doctors automatically attribute your symptoms to age. But the empowering lesson is clear. You can challenge that assumption, ask for deeper answers, and ensure your concerns are treated with the seriousness they deserve. The third uncomfortable truth is that many doctors quietly assume older adults don't prioritize their health the way younger people do. They may believe you're less motivated to exercise, less willing to adjust your diet, or simply not interested in making changes because you've already lived a long life. This stereotype can lead to fewer recommendations, less encouragement, and in some cases, a sense of resignation in the way they treat you. Think about the difference in tone when a 30-year-old walks in and says they want to lose weight versus when a 70-year-old makes the same request. Too often, doctors are enthusiastic and supportive with the younger patient, but with the older one, they might downplay the effort, assuming the results won't matter as much. But here's the truth: your health at 70, 80, or even 90 can still drastically improve with the right choices. Consider the 80-year-old who takes up lightweight training and discovers not only stronger muscles, but also better balance and fewer falls. Or the 75-year-old who cuts back on sugar and finds their energy skyrockets. These real changes happen every day, proving that older adults can be just as committed and successful as anyone else. If your doctor assumes you don't care, you have the power to show them otherwise. Start by being vocal about your goals. Instead of saying, "I want to stay healthy," be specific. "I'd like to walk my granddaughter down the aisle," or "I want to keep gardening without pain." When doctors hear meaningful goals, they're more motivated to help you achieve them. Another effective strategy is to demonstrate consistency. If your doctor suggests a new medication, routine, or exercise, follow up at your next visit with an update. "I tried it, and here's what happened." That simple feedback signals commitment and may completely change the way your doctor views you as a patient. It's also valuable to challenge the subtle language that suggests your efforts don't matter. If a doctor says, "At your age, it won't make a big difference," respond with, "Even a small difference matters to me." By stating your priorities clearly, you remind them that your health goals are still important and deserve attention. Behind this truth lies a hopeful message. Motivation doesn't vanish with age, it simply changes form. For many older adults, the goal isn't to run marathons or chase big milestones. It's about independence, dignity, and enjoying life's simple pleasures. And those goals are just as worthy of medical support as any other. So, the third ugly truth is this: some doctors assume seniors no longer prioritize health. But the reality is that your motivation is deeply personal and powerful, and when you show your doctor that you care, you can inspire them to care more too. The fourth uncomfortable truth is that many doctors secretly worry older patients won't remember or fully understand their medical instructions. They may assume your memory is slipping or that complex details will confuse you. As a result, they sometimes oversimplify explanations, avoid going into depth, or fail to provide complete guidance. While this may come from a place of concern, it can unintentionally leave you less informed about your own health. Imagine you're prescribed a new medication. Instead of carefully explaining when to take it, how it interacts with food, or what side effects to watch for, the doctor may just say, "Take it once a day. You'll be fine." That leaves you guessing about the details, and those details matter. A skipped instruction could mean dizziness, dangerous interactions, or reduced effectiveness. But here's the truth. While memory changes are real for some, many older adults are fully capable of following instructions, especially when they have the right tools. Doctors who underestimate you may unintentionally rob you of the opportunity to manage your health with confidence. So, how can you counter this assumption? Start by writing things down. Bring a small notebook or use your phone to take notes during every appointment. When your doctor sees you recording details, it signals responsibility and reminds them you're serious about following through. Another helpful step is to repeat instructions back. After your doctor explains something, say, "Just to be sure I understand, you'd like me to take this pill every morning with breakfast, correct?" This not only confirms clarity, but also shows you are engaged and attentive. If possible, bring a trusted family member or friend with you. A second set of ears can help catch details you may miss, and it reassures the doctor that you have support. But remember, this doesn't mean you can't handle your own care, it simply means you're wise enough to create a safety net. Real-life stories prove this point. A 70-year-old man began bringing a notebook to his cardiology visits. He wrote down every instruction, then reviewed it with his wife at home. His doctor later admitted that seeing this effort completely changed his perception. Instead of giving vague advice, the doctor began offering more detailed explanations, trusting that his patient could handle them. That trust improved their relationship and the quality of care. The deeper lesson here is that communication is a two-way street. Doctors may assume older patients can't keep up, but you can break that pattern by showing preparedness, asking questions, and insisting on clear answers. Doing so not only protects your health, but also strengthens your doctor's respect for you. So, the fourth ugly truth is this. Doctors often fear seniors won't remember or understand medical instructions. But by being proactive, organized, and engaged, you can prove that assumption wrong and ensure you receive the full, detailed guidance you deserve. The fifth and final uncomfortable truth is that many doctors quietly assume older patients have accepted illness as an unavoidable part of life. They may believe that once you reach a certain age, you no longer expect improvement, and instead, you're resigned to just living with it. This assumption can influence the care you receive in ways you may not even notice. For example, a 78-year-old woman complains of chronic back pain. Instead of exploring physical therapy, new medications, or modern treatment options, her doctor shrugs and says, "That's just what happens when you get older." In that moment, the doctor has decided for her that the pain is inevitable and therefore not worth aggressively addressing. This quiet form of resignation denies seniors the chance to feel better, even when options exist. The problem with this mindset is that it doesn't match reality. Yes, aging brings physical changes, but it doesn't mean suffering should automatically be accepted. Every day, medical science makes advances in pain management, joint health, cardiovascular care, and cognitive support. When doctors assume older patients don't want to fight for better health, they may withhold these opportunities. That's not just unfair, it's harmful. The hopeful truth is that many older adults refuse to settle for decline. Consider the 70-year-old who develops cataracts. If she simply accepted fading vision as normal, she would struggle with daily tasks. But instead, she chooses surgery, regains her sight, and continues to read, drive, and enjoy independence. Or think of the 82-year-old who develops hearing loss. Rather than giving up on conversations, he tries modern hearing aids, reconnecting with his family, and reducing feelings of isolation. These examples show that seniors who push back against resignation often discover life-changing improvements. So, how do you challenge a doctor's assumption that you've already given up? First, make your priorities crystal clear. Instead of passively nodding, tell your doctor, "I want to keep traveling," or "I want to play with my great-grandchildren without pain." These statements remind your doctor that quality of life matters to you, not just survival. When they hear that you still have goals, they are more likely to offer solutions instead of resignation. Second, don't be afraid to ask about new treatments. Medical technology is evolving quickly, and there may be options your doctor doesn't mention unless you bring it up. Ask questions like, "What are the latest approaches for my condition?" Or, "Are there non-surgical options I could try first?" Your curiosity signals that you are engaged and willing to explore possibilities. Third, seek a second opinion if necessary. If one doctor shrugs off your concerns, another may offer hope. Many seniors have discovered that simply changing providers opens doors to treatments they never knew existed. Remember, you are not being difficult by asking for another perspective. You are being smart about protecting your future. It's also important to resist the cultural message that aging means surrender. Society often paints a picture of old age as a time of decline and passivity, but you don't have to accept that image. Aging can also be about adaptation, resilience, and making the most of every day. Doctors who see their older patients fighting for better health often feel inspired, and that inspiration can change the quality of the care they deliver. Real-life examples reinforce this point. One 85-year-old man with severe knee arthritis was told by his first doctor that nothing could be done at his age. He nearly gave up until his daughter urged him to see a specialist. That second doctor recommended a tailored exercise program and a new injection therapy. Within months, he was walking more comfortably, sleeping better, and even gardening again. His story proves that resignation isn't the only path. Advocacy and persistence can open new doors. Finally, remember that you are the expert on your own life. A doctor may see hundreds of patients, but only you know the value of being able to walk to the park, climb your front steps, or join your friends for lunch. When you insist on solutions, you remind your doctor that healthcare is not just about extending life, it's about preserving joy, dignity, and independence. So, the fifth ugly truth is this. Many doctors assume seniors accept illness as a natural part of aging. But the empowering reality is that you don't have to accept unnecessary suffering. By voicing your goals, asking questions, and refusing to settle for decline, you show your doctor and yourself that every year of life is still worth fighting for. The message here is clear. Aging may be inevitable, but surrender is not. And when you reject resignation, you unlock the possibility of better health, renewed independence, and a future filled with hope. We've covered a lot today, and I know some of these truths may have felt heavy. But remember this: awareness is power. By understanding the hidden assumptions doctors sometimes hold about older adults, you now have the tools to break those patterns and take control of your care. Let's quickly revisit the lessons. First, many doctors think seniors won't change their habits, but you can show them otherwise with small, consistent steps. Second, too many symptoms are brushed off as just aging, but you can demand deeper answers. Third, some doctors assume you don't prioritize your health yet. Your personal goals can prove how much it matters. Fourth, there's a fear you won't remember instructions, but with notes, questions, and support, you can handle every detail. And finally, many believe older adults accept illness as natural, but you can insist on solutions advocate for yourself, and refuse to surrender to decline. These 5 ugly truths aren't meant to discourage you. They're meant to remind you that you are not powerless. In fact, by speaking up, asking questions, and showing commitment, you can change the way your doctor sees you and, more importantly, the way they treat you. These tips are shared for general awareness. If you're facing any health challenges, be sure to check with your doctor before trying anything new. Now I'd love to hear from you. What part of today's video resonated with you most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, or simply write the word HOPE to remind yourself and others that there is always a reason to keep going. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, and share this video with a friend or loved one who might benefit from hearing it. You deserve respect, care, and a voice in every medical conversation. And as you move forward, remember this simple truth: growing older doesn't mean losing control, it means learning how to protect it.